Wales against Argentina then. Could this be the moment that the Wales resurrection properly happens? They stem the tide with a win away at Japan, but a win against Argentina, and that would demonstrate a significant turnaround now under Steve Tandy with some key men back in their ranks. How optimistic should Wales be of a win against Argentina? Los Pumas, who mix it with the very best in the world regularly in the Rugby Championship now. Well, they'll be coming to Cardiff confident. I'm going to go through the teams. I've got a combined 23-man squad, and I would love to know your thoughts in the chat down below. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, because it's quite interesting. There's been a lot of chatter about Scotland's chances of breaking the curse against New Zealand at Murrayfield, of Italy getting a win against Australia. This game's gone under the radar a little bit. I mean, partly because all the other teams were announced yesterday. This game is on Sunday, so the team news has only come out today. But aside from that, how much optimism is there really that Wales could actually beat Argentina? I think when I look at their team, it looks all right to me. Actually, before we get into that, it's always one of those pub quiz questions. Where is which country has the second highest number of Welsh speakers? Argentina, because of the Welsh settlers in Patagonia. In fact, that was a pub quiz question as well. Who was the last? Well, I don't know if there's been another England-Wales game where Wales have scored at Wembley since then, but it was always name the last Welsh footballer to score at Wembley, and you'd always say oh, was it Ryan Giggs, or something like that? And no, Gabriel Batistuta, because he's got some Welsh heritage because he's from that part of Argentina. So there is a kind of unexpected connections between these countries. But they've got very different fortunes at the minute. Argentina are up there as one of the best teams in the world. Wales are not. And if Wales are going to break into the higher pots for the World Rugby pool draw, which is on December the 3rd, then this is probably the game that they're going to be targeting most as a potential upset, because New Zealand and South Africa come into town. Enough said. Whereas Argentina, who have made a few changes, and there is a shot. And actually, look at that. Does that not like a pretty decent Welsh team on the face of it? You can't really argue with many of the selections or any, really. It sort of feels like the strongest possible side. And maybe the headline is Wales are having an experiment with an NFL star. See, let's wait and see if these American football superstars can mix it with rugby players. Lewis Rees-Sammet's back, of course, after his couple-of-year hiatus. That's it. Lewis Rees-Sammet timed that brilliantly. Went to America, had a good old time of it, earned a fair bit of cash, tried something new. His Instagram DMs were probably blowing up. So I'm sure he's had a good time in America, but now he's back. And he's back just after the team have ended their 18-game losing run. Let's see how he gets on again back in rugby. I guess it's a good feather in the cap for Tom Rogers that Tom Rogers has been selected above Lewis Rees-Sammet, and maybe a demonstration that being out of the game for a couple of years, there'll be some rustiness there. We will see. And the other big story really is Rhys Carré in from the wilderness. I mean, I don't know exactly what went on. Rhys Carré hasn't talked about it. Warren Gatland hasn't talked about it. There's rumours. There's things that have been said. But from the outside, it looks, from my mind, like he was treated unfairly, and I'm really pleased to see him back in. And that's a big boost. Kieran Asarati, slightly surprised by that selection at tight head prop, but he's got an opportunity. Dewi Lake, no surprise there. Second row, line out, looks like it could be a real strength for Wales. I predict that Wales are going to kick the ball into the stands rather than go for full distance and risk the opportunity of Argentina taking a quick line out, which they like to do with their rapid backfield players, because Wales can have a proper go at Argentina's line out. Adam Beard is an absolute expert, really underrated in that area, and Dafydd Jenkins is good as well. They're both big work rate players, bit light on carrying, I would suggest, this Welsh pack perhaps. So actually, appropriately enough, Rhys Carré might need to be doing some carrying. Jack Morgan won't stop. That's not really his strength, though. Aaron Wainwright, yes. Alex Mann, again, a smaller profile. So small, mobile. That if you want to lean into the strengths of that, then Wales are going to have to play fast when they have the ball, and maybe there'll be quite a lot of kicking and let Jack Morgan and Alex Mann and Aaron Wainwright just go and attack the breakdowns and try and win some penalties when Argentina are pinned in their backfield. That might be their tactic. We'll see. Jack Morgan, talismanic, inspirational, captain, back in the ranks, in the trenches, trying to get that win on home soil. That's huge for Wales. And Aaron Wainwright, still only 28. That surprised me. It's 63rd cap for Wales, and a quality player. What can the pack live with Argentina? I'll come on to them in just a minute. Behind the scrum, I have some little question marks and concerns. Dan Edwards was the man that got the win against Japan. I'm pleased to see him getting more minutes. The centre pairing, that's where I've probably got the biggest question mark in this Welsh team. I mean, they're good players, but are they good enough at test level? Thomas is a nice distributor, but is he good enough? Is he up there with, I mean, he's opposite Chocobaras, that's and Llewellyn. He can put his head down and run hard, but is that enough in the international game? I think that's where the biggest question mark is. And look, they may prove me wrong, but we will see. And against Chocobaras, who is one of the best in the world, they're going to have to, they're going to have their work cut out. Tom Rogers over LRZ, who's on the bench, of course, and a debut for Ollie Cracknell off the bench. That's so good to see. And if Wales do lack a bit of ball carrying and need to dial that up a little bit, Ollie Cracknell is your man. So good to see someone get a debut at the age of 31. It will mean that much more to him. He spent years at the Ospreys getting overlooked. He goes to England. He's been great in the Premiership, and now he's got his shot. And no one will be prouder than Ollie Cracknell singing that national anthem in Cardiff on Sunday. As for the Argentina team, I mean, they've got some absolute ballers. They have rested a few. There is no Gonzalo Garcia. There is no Thomas Albanor. So their first choice halfbacks, not there. No Lucio Cinti, so one of their midfielders, not there. So they're breaking up some of their key combinations. But this is one of the games for Argentina where you think they have to build some depth, thinking 2 years down the line. And so they've picked Picardo in the centre, the guy who plays his club rugby in Argentina. They've got Benitez Cruz and Prisciantelli. Really promising 9-10, particularly Prisciantelli. I was really impressed with him at Wembley against the Springboks. I watched him there, and he's got something about him, that guy, and they need the backup to Albanors. So that's really good. And then, I mean, look at that bench. Malia and Iskro on the bench. They've got some wild attackers. If they need to pull a rabbit out of a hat and they find themselves points down in the final quarter, they can go nuclear with a really, really attacking baller bench players. As for the pack, their back row is so good. And throughout the Rugby Championship, they had their 4 back row players, Matera, Gonzalez, Oviedo, Kremer, and they would have one of them on the bench and the other 3 just rotating game to game. This time they've got all 4 in because they've put Kremer at second row, which is why I think Wales can genuinely attack Argentina's line-out. They can have a go because Argentina have made an option. It's always a trade-off. They get more physicality, they get more ball carrying, but they're not going to be as good at line-out time. So Wales get the ball well off the pitch, attack their line-out, try and cut the possession off at source, and then try and move these big men around. And Argentina have got big men. That is a big back 5 of the scrum. Julia Montoya is awesome. I do think one other weakness, line-out could be a weakness for Argentina, and the scrum. I don't rate Vivas and Delgado. They got absolutely marmalised, not just by South Africa in the Rugby Championship, but by other countries as well. They're good rugby players. They're not good scrummagers. However, Gajo is back and he's on the bench. And the youngster, Thomas Rapetti, looks like a class player. One to watch. He's from Toulouse. He made his debut against South Africa, won a scrum penalty. And yeah, it looks like those two might be the future of trying to resurrect the Argentinian scrum back to former glories. But for now, not great. But I would imagine Argentina would have too much. But I think Wales could run them close. And I think Wales might live with Argentina for 50 minutes, 55 minutes. Then you might see the benches come into play. And I think Argentina have got a definite edge there. You might see Wales getting really tired from having to repeatedly get up off the floor, having to hit Matera and Kremer and Oviedo. And eventually that will wear you down. And I think in the last half hour, Argentina will take it away from Wales and probably win by 12 points. But I think Wales will keep it tight for 50, maybe even to 60 minutes. My combined team, if you had all 23 Welshmen, all 23 Argentinians, what would you go with? This is what I've gone with. And actually, 4 and 4 in the pack. I don't rate Argentina's starting props. Delgado actually is okay, so I possibly would have gone with him over Asirati. In fact, yeah, it's a coin flip. But Wales can go at Argentina at scrum time. They can go at them at line-out time. I think they'll be overpowered by the back row, as good as Wainwright and Mann are. And in the back line, if they do get a good platform, Argentina, I think even without Garcia and Albanors, they should have too much. And yeah, Argentina by 12 is my prediction. Let me know what you think. I will see you on the next video. I'll be covering all the rugby. I'm off to Paris in the morning. I'll be watching that game tomorrow night. I'll be watching this game on Sunday, and as much of it as I can catch in with. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. I'll see you on the next one.